Okay, we're here. We're here. We're here. Guys, on the way up the stairs just now, honestly, my knee popped really bad. And it doesn't hurt for real, but it certainly doesn't feel like super, super amazing. So, yeah, I'm here. I had matcha. Now I'm drinking what is this? Sorry, I think the matcha, I literally think like the matcha, just the way it works on my brain is so interesting, and that's certainly going to be some sort of conversation one day, and like a topic to be researched for me personally. That being said, what is that? Oh, chai. I'm currently sipping on a chai, hot chai for warmth. That's what we're doing. Like, that's what we're on. Hi. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to my crib. Welcome to my crib. You remember when people used to do that? Like, what era is that from? Like, this? Like, where did that come from? Was that from when we were in middle school? Like, I feel like that was when I was in middle school, but then I also feel like my brother did that when he was in middle school, and he's 6 years younger than me. And I also feel like my sister and them had a phase, and she's 10 years younger than me. And I feel like the COVID babies also had a phase where they were like, for those of you who can't see right now, I'm doing the thing, you know, the thing where you turn it's like whatever that symbol is, that's like rock hand. Like, it's like a rock star hand with the two middle fingers down and the index finger and the pinky and the thumb are out. And then you hit the ends of your hands together, like the whatever this side part of your hand is called, you like hit it together in front of your face. You know what I'm talking about? If you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like that was a great image that I just painted, and I feel like y'all do know what I'm talking about. And we're literally going 1,000 miles a minute. Let me try to think about some sort of order of operations here, because you know what? If I had a producer girl in the stew, and she was literally giving me cue cards, or maybe not even cue cards, but she was just helping me out a little bit. Liddo. Liddo. Like, just a little bit of help. I think I'd be doing much better right now. Just in terms of getting it together. Like, actually being able to stay on task, dead ass. So, anyway, I had the most beautiful experience last week, and I wanted to talk about it because this is literally what I'm talking about when I say, like, I'll tell you guys about the experience. So basically, I've recently become a regular at 2 local coffee shops. Well, one is like local, like around my house local, and then one is like city local. Like, I go into the city, and like, we've just become such a tight-knit community in there, which I love. I think it's so cute. It's my favorite thing. Like, it's literally my favorite thing. Just on principle, I visit them 5 days a week. Not five. Because see how easy I exaggerate and see how easy I lie. We're going to say, what are we going to say? What are we going to call it? Let me sip my chai. We'll call it about 3 days a week. But 3 days a week, I feel like, is a lot, especially because it's literally 30 minutes away. So whatever. I go, me when literally anything happens and I'm talking about anything, so whatever. I'm always just saying so whatever. So whatever what though? Like, because what do I mean by that? Seriously speaking. So whatever. And where did that come from? I'm just like, when, girl, did you adopt saying so whatever? And it's not no shit that I got off the internet. I can tell you that. I don't know. Anyway, I walked into my favorite coffee shop, and I I say hi, I order, I'm waiting for my matcha, the usual. And as I'm waiting for my matcha, the barista behind the counter goes, "Hey, Milani." I was like, "Hey." They were like, Are you in the mood for socializing today, or are you just gonna get your matcha and go? And I was like, I mean, I'm always in the mood for socializing, of course, because that's just my truth. We talked about it. I said it at some point on here. Like, I'm truly an extrovert. Like, that's my tea. So I was like, yeah, I'm always in the mood for socializing. And they were like, I have a table of friends over there, and they're all like film students at blah, blah, blah. You should come meet them. And I was like, OMG, where at? Like, show me the way. And they showed me the way. And then they walked me over there. And because I've been saying that I want to get into my city's film scene more, just because, like, I want to start kind of re-exploring that medium and, like, working within that world more, as I'm sure y'all can gather through the context of the things that I speak about and the way that I've been speaking about them, right? And I went over there and they were like, oh, sit down. And then we just yapped. And then, like, a couple of them left, but then me and this other student who was this Kenyan film director or film student from Kenya, but he's like a director. We literally spoke for maybe 4 hours, and it was just honestly iconic. And we're doing it all again tomorrow. Like, at the end of it, we're like, okay, same time next week. Like, same time next week. That is what community is about. Like, it literally feels like an injection into my veins of some sort. Like, it's literally like, because give me more of that. Give me more of that. And I even remember, and I knew that I should have known this about myself, actually, because I had a very similar experience. Not a similar experience, actually, but a similar feeling at the beginning of 2025. I remember I was hosting an event, but it wasn't my event. So I was sort of just moderating the conversation and sort of handling, like, the run of show, I guess. And I remember at the end of that night, I went home and I called my best friend on FaceTime, who's in California. And I was like, bro, that literally felt like it felt like I was drunk, I think is what I said to her word for word. I said it felt like I was drunk, but it was minus the loss of inhibitions and, like, not the lack of, like, of motor function. Like, it was literally me when I'm talking about a lack of motor function, and I'm literally experiencing that right now. Okay, period. But yeah, just not even, like, impaired, just warm and fuzzy and happy from all of the beautiful social interaction that I had had, from being able to sort of, like, walk around and talk and, like, do it purposefully. Like, there was a purpose. I was there for a reason. Like, I had information about what I was talking about, and it just felt good, and everybody was so kind, and there were things, it was just nice. And it was just like having purposeful conversations and just riffing. And I love to riff. And also, I just love to riff. I love to riff. So it's like any setting that I can get into where I can just literally let it rip, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, y'all don't know what you've started. And I know that sometimes the people aren't expecting it. Like, the people who ask me to, like, host things or moderate or do these conversations or whatever, like, I don't think that they realize what they've started, because once I get going, I'm just going, and they hella be like, yeah, like, hella just smile and wave, boys. You know what I mean? Smile and wave, literally, like, what's his face said. What was his name? Skipper from the Penguins of Madagascar. Wow. What an iconic, was Skipper the leader? What an iconic character. Wow. And the Penguins of Madagascar? Wow. The Penguins of Madagascar? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, they were so, because they were so iconic. And more of that, whatever that sort of character archetype is, we have not seen a really, really good set of little guys like that since the Penguins of Madagascar, because we have the Minions, but the Minions are famously dumb. Like, the Minions famously have, like, probably low brain function. Like, that's famous. Those penguins of motherfucking Madagascar had they literally, like, that man was scheming. That man was scheming. And, like, he had his little assistant. I wish I could remember the little assistant with the high-pitched voice. And he just ran plays. He literally ran plays. Players make plays, and he was playing. And he always had his shit together. He always had a plan. He always had that shit down pat. And that's just not, we haven't had like a little set of, like a new set of little characters who like operate in that way with such deep thought involved, with such high levels of intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not giving Minions. Minions are just very different in that they're minions. They're not leaders. What are we talking about? They're minions. They are not leaders. It's literally in the name. I'm like, damn, bring back something like the penguins of Madagascar. Anyway, what I was saying though is, go out in your community. Go out in your community more and get active in your community. Start saying yes to shit. I've been saying yes to things. I talked about this a little bit last year. Like, I've been dead ass saying yes to shit since October, and literally the way that my life has gone, like, yeah, whatever, we've had a rough patch. We had some rough patches. But there is a pre-October version of me, and there's a post-October version of me. The pre-October version of me was the homebody version, or like the version that was hella saying no to my friends. And then the post-October version of me is literally the version of me that was forcing myself to go outside and like forcing myself to do shit and forcing myself to say yes. And since then, like, there are several things that I can think of that have changed, or opportunities that have been presented to me, or people that I have met that I just simply wouldn't have met, and it just wouldn't have happened. So anyway, yeah. Also, God, I just sat here, by the way, and I literally was supposed to record about an hour and a half ago at this point, and all I did instead was like sit and redo my Substack. No, I definitely just sat here though and was like supposed to do this, right? Because I manage my own schedule actually. So what do I even mean by that? But I was actually supposed to do this about 2 hours ago now. Instead, what did I do? I sat here. I made a new banner for the YouTube channel. I made a new logo. I made a new Instagram profile picture. All for this. And I don't know. Like, yes, like, what are we talking about? Like, this is what I'm doing with my free time. But also, I don't know. Like, I'm building something. And this is what I want to be doing with my free time. Like, this is my fun thing. You know what I mean? But also, the thing about it is that I do have stuff to do today. So the fact that I've been sitting at my computer for several hours, just kind of for fun and not really actually for work. And now I'm doing this. And then I still have to finish editing another episode, which, gosh, a good editor, when I find you, like, actually, a job, when I find you, and I have just the tiniest amount of spare change in my pocket to be able to pay someone to edit for me, everything will change. And it will. Yeah. Like, mind you though, like, I do actually have things to do today. Like, I actually have several obligations that are like real obligations with start times, and not like pretend obligations or like suggestions, like real things that I have to do. So yeah, gonna do this, gonna finish this, and then probably honestly won't even get to edit the episode, which is a different conversation. Well, I might, no, like the timing is definitely looking funky. But the reason I even did all of this, like AKA like the working on this, whatever this shit for 2 hours and just like do on my laptop, is because I am having like a whole renewal right now. And I've decided not to call it a rebrand because whatever, I guess people are not brands. Like, this is life. But I'm having a whole renewal. And I like told you guys that I redid my website, but now I'm looking at things, I think, with like, after being off of the internet as my main source of entertainment, or I guess off of social media, because a lot of media, even like art and things like that, are on the internet. But, and I loosely, by the way, loosely use social media as entertainment. And I only say that because I do know that a good 30-minute scroll on TikTok is kind of like the equivalent of watching a show. But it's just not as, no, right? Because, hey, never mind. No, actually, hey, never mind. Never mind on that. But the point of what I was going to say is that after a few weeks post or just not using social media as a source of entertainment, I'm kind of starting to develop, which I love, because this was the whole damn point. Mind you, this was the whole damn point. This is what they're talking about. This is literally actually what they're talking about. I've started to develop, I feel like a different eye for things. And like, I don't know if the eye is good or bad, but it feels better. Like, maybe. And I don't know. Like, all I know is that the way that I'm seeing things feels different. And that's great, just because one of the things that I really wanted to do this year, and that I kind of want to set out to do this year, is really discover like the things that I enjoy, and that includes kind of the aesthetics that I enjoy, and like colors and patterns, and being shown like I want to be able to be like, one of the things that I wrote I wrote like a long journal entry to myself at the end of last year, and one of the things that I wrote is that I'm so excited to learn what my aesthetics are, like the things that. By the way, let's just quickly define the word aesthetic, actually, while we're on the topic, because y'all have been using that word, y'all, the public, have been using that word wrong for years, and it's literally been pissing me off for years. Like, that's one that I correct every single time someone says the shit to me. I correct it. Sorry. Like, hate to be that bitch, but actually don't hate to be that bitch, because, like, you don't use it like, oh, that's so aesthetic, or she's so aesthetic. Like, that's not, y'all are using that shit wrong. But it's okay, because I'm about to give you a little tiny bit of schooling, and then I'm going to explain my point and what I was talking about. So the definition of aesthetic is as an adjective, which means as a descriptive word, but the use of it in a sentence is not that's so aesthetic. It's the picture gives great aesthetic pleasure. Like, it's describing the thing. The thing doesn't, you don't use it as like okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, as an adjective, concerned with beauty or the appreciation with beauty. Right. As a noun, a set of principles, and this is also often, because y'all are also like, not y'all, I guess. The thing that I've noticed is that people often take the adjective but insert it in the place of a noun, like using the definition of the noun version of the word. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So anyway, as a noun, a set of principles underlying and guiding the work of a particular artist or artistic movement. So like, that being said, for example, Wes Anderson has a very particular aesthetic. Like, he has an underlying set of principles that like motivate his work. Or like, my favorite director, like, also another thing that I've noticed too is like a lot of anime. Oh my God. Like, with a lot of anime, it has like this underlying aesthetic. And I think that my whole thing that I'm trying to do this year, and like the point that I'm trying to make, is that I really want to be consuming intentionally in a way where I'm maybe being like less of just looking at something and being like, oh, that's cunt, or like, oh, that's camp, or like, oh, that's, you know, and just being like, yeah, I just love that. And more so in a way where I'm like, gosh, like, I'm so fascinated with this thing. Let's pick it apart a little bit. Like, let's look at it a little closer. Let's analyze it a little deeper. Let's, I don't know, have a little back and forth about it. Let's interrogate it a little bit, and then getting into the essence of what that thing is finding like a pattern or like a texture or like a theme that stands out to me that can then contribute to one, who I am as a person, but two, like the body of work that I'm creating, aka like all of my writing or like all of it, like, you know, like it does not make it, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's just like one of the things that I find that really successful artists have, and I mean this in all, like across all mediums, is that there is like, they really do, even if it's not a consistent brand, there's an underlying aesthetic that like there is obviously an underlying set of like principles, you know, like even with Beyonce, like it's not a consistent brand. She's had a million different brands, but there's an underlying set of values. Or when I think of like Solange, or when I think of like Tyler the Creator, or when I think about even like just when I think of artists and filmmakers and authors, and like there's always like an like you just have to know why you're doing the thing. You just have to know why you're doing the thing. Otherwise, what is it? Like what's the purpose? Otherwise it's purposeless. You know what I mean? And one thing that I am wanting to do is kind of discover what that is and like what that looks like for me. So anyway, point is, why I even sat down in this chair today? This is not even my usual recording day. I made a list of things that I want to research when I have the time, and I was like, why not share that? Right now, my special interest topic that I kind of want to dig into just a little bit while we're here is caffeine making me fucking musty? Because you know what? Actually, I'm glad I wrote this down. Otherwise, I would have completely forgotten because my mind is literally sprinting full speed. That being said, though, like actually seriously, and I know how this is going to sound. Because I am aware that there is a certain demographic of person who advocates for natural deodorant. I would just like to say, first and foremost, I do not advocate for natural deodorant. Like I literally don't. I never recommend natural deodorants to people, especially if it's someone that I've noticed gets sweaty or gets musty. I'm never going to do you like that. Like I was never going to do anybody like that. That being said, though, for myself, I have been using non-traditional deodorant for years, and I literally swear, and I know how it sounds, you guys, I know how it sounds. I literally swear this has never been a problem for me. First of all, I've never been a pit stain haver / pit sweater ever, unless I'm working out. That's just not my truth. Like, and I don't know if it's because I stopped, you know what? Because I may have just answered my own question. But the point is, like, very recently, pit sweat has been happening, and it'll be like annoying because I'm freezing cold and I'm like getting a pit stain, and it literally feels like a rage bait from God. Like that's what it feels like. And I don't know, like I've gone my whole life as a non-pit sweater, and I just want to get to the end as a non-musty bitch, because it never, like, bro, like the thing is, never in my life did it ever give musty bitch. Not ever. Ever. Like, that's just not my tea. That's just not my truth. I am blessed and privileged to be one of those people that just doesn't, you know, like, if I hit a little 1-2, if it's been a long day, like, sure, but it's not just happening. Like, I don't just walk around and especially, if it wasn't my truth, I would be still using fucking secret deodorant or whatever the fuck. Like, I would, actually, like, I literally would. Tried, used Old Spice. It started making me pit sweat. Literally, I started using Old Spice because I was just curious, because I was like, it makes you smell good. Like, you smell hella good. You carry a good scent on you. And then, like, Yay. Also, allegedly, you don't sweat from your armpits. So I started using Old Spice because of the smell. It started making me pit sweat, and I was like, that seems like a bad reaction. That actually seems and looks like a bad reaction if I've ever heard. If I've ever heard of a bad reaction, then that is what that seems like. So I stopped using that shit, went back to glycolic acid and magnesium oil and I don't even fucking know, like whatever shit, random shit I was using, because I do use a different one every time. Like I'm not even loyal to any natural deodorants. I just grab whatever shit. Like actually there's one really good one that I will endorse called Real Purity that I've been using for a couple of years now pretty consistently, like just whenever I remember to get it. That what's her face? Is what's her face a slur? Is what's her face a slur? Like no, but like it's no, because the thing is when I just said it, it felt offensive. Like I said, what's her face? And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know that I love that. Like I don't know that I would love it if someone referred to me as what's her face. That feels a little bit. That feels a little bit not nice. What is that lady's name? Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza recommended it like on an interview, Real Purity Roll-On. And she was talking about how it's like the only natural deodorant she's ever used that works. And I was like, I'm gonna try that. And I tried it, and honestly, it was really good. And I was not musty, and I was not sweaty. So of course I would keep using it. Of course I would keep using it, guys. If I'm using something and I see that it works, like of course I would. Wow, you know what? Okay, this is interesting. And maybe this is actually common knowledge. Hey, now that I'm looking it up, because caffeine is not making me a musty bitch, but it is maybe making me a sweaty bitch. Because the thing is also, you guys, I have not been a caffeine consumer like that really at all. Like, because the thing is, I hated caffeine. Or no, I didn't hate caffeine. I didn't know her. Hey, I didn't know her, but I didn't hate her. I just hated coffee, and I've always kind of hated coffee. Like, even now when I get a latte, I'm hella choking that shit down. Like, literally, like taking a sip, like, you know, like I can't. I just think it's literally like drinking cigarette water. Like that's how it feels, like cigarette ash water. Like the same that like nasty recoil. Like I'm never feeling delighted and warmed by the flavor of coffee. That's just not my tea, and I don't really love the smell of it either. I don't like coffee. You know, I like chai, and then in college I discovered matcha, and I've been into matcha ever since. So whatever. But it's a recent development that I am literally consuming caffeine on the daily because, as discussed, like if it's not one thing, it's going to be another, and I'm sober. So here we are. And a few weeks ago, was sober for 5 months, which in that time, I said it already, leaned into caffeine. And you know what? When I think about it, about the time that I leaned into caffeine was about the time that I started getting pit sweat. Actually, now that I think about it, and that seems about like common sense. You know, so because you know what, I went into it with the wrong question. I was like, is caffeine making me musty? No, baby, the sweat is making you musty. The sweat is making you musty. Because the thing is, it never gave musty bitch before. Why would it suddenly start giving musty bitch now? Oh, because you wasn't sweating before. Oh, right. You wasn't sweating before. And that's fine. Because, like, it never gave AO. Like, it never gave AO. Like, it literally just never gave AO. So what are we talking about? Now here it is all of a sudden, like, AO. Right. So I just did a quick Google search and I'm coming to, okay, whoa. Oh, whoa. Okay, I'm actually seeing strong opinions on this on the internet. That's kind of annoying. Does anyone know why my armpits start sweating as soon as I drink coffee? Like dripping sweat. Doesn't happen when I drink tea, only coffee. I guess this means I should switch to decaf. Feels like maybe a hormone problem? Oh, you guys. Caffeine is a poison. Realize that. When people type things in this way, it literally. Because, okay, baby. Okay, baby. Like, who. I don't know who hurt you, actually, and treat these people with grace, but just reading the start of this 2 full paragraphs of response, by the way. This is on Reddit. I'm looking at Reddit. I'm looking at r/decaf. The old me would have responded. The old me would have said something. The old me would have said something about how, like, when people respond to things in this way, it pisses me off. The new me is like, you know what? Okay, like hey, something is making you feel like this strongly about this thing, and you're not attacking anybody. You're just doing your thing. And that's, you're just doing your thing. So, and okay, like whatever. Caffeine is a poison, period. Realize that, period. But why does your armpit sweat? Why does your armpit sweat? Question mark? Because you are poisoned, period. Your body is stressed, period. Stress is the impact, period. Sober, question mark. Say you have a level 3 out of 10 baseline stress level. Some dick cuts you off and takes 5 points, no problem. 8 out of 10, you are good and it is a non-issue. Drink caffeine and the baseline stress level is at a 7 or higher, period. Now a dick cuts you off with that same 5-point hit. This is crazy that they're doing this. This is like crazy that they did this, that they wrote all this shit in here. Now a dick cuts you off with that same 5-point hit. It's time for revenge. Be glad your worries are just from sweat, period. There are cops, less fortunate, that sprayed mace on a cuffed little girl. And another cop that shot a man holding a cell phone and is on a murder trial for it. Wow. This is an insane response. Bro. They have serious caffeine, in quotes, self-control, stress, related issues. They get jacked on that shit and plow donuts and other sugar goods. Hindsight is 2020. They should have been here on decaf long ago. Okay, like whoa. Oh my gosh, like you guys. This was 5 years ago. This was before the popularity of think piecing. This is just, and you know what? Reddit has always been ahead of the curve. Okay, let's just start there. Reddit has always been ahead of the curve. People on Reddit could never say anything and just be behind the curve. People on Reddit have the most information of people anywhere else. People on Reddit have the most valid opinions of all people. And actually, I think that if you're not researching things on Reddit and you're not getting all of your information on Reddit, then you don't know what you're talking about. Because yeah, I just did a quick Google search. My Google search took me to Reddit. And you know what it always does? Every single time I look something up on Google, actually, you know where that shit takes me? It takes me to Reddit. So, that being said, before think piecing was a thing, people were on Reddit spitting random facts like this. And that's an insane response, but it's really beautiful that they went to the trouble to provide other people in the public with that for free. #Reddit. comment on here says, this police analogy is just bullshit. Comment on here says, ha ha ha, this police analogy is just bullshit. I agree with the rest though. How do you even agree with the rest? What is this person talking about? Yeah, comma, except the maced girl while cuffed and murder charges are actual real life current events. Oh my gosh, you guys. Honestly, like, I really do love Reddit, but like, you guys have to calm down. Like, you guys literally have to calm down on there because that shit is crazy. That's a fucking crazy. But the thing is, they always respond to shit just like that on Reddit. And that's why it's a place to get answers. But people always respond with some shit like that. Like, it's never just, oh, like, well, I guess in some communities, it depends on what communities you're in. In some communities, you're like, oh, like, should I get pink or purple bows for my dogs? And someone literally is on there like, you should not put bows on dogs. And here's why. Did you know that bows actually cut off the flow of blood to dogs' ears? And literally, if you put a bow on your dog, you're killing your dog. And see, the thing is, you see how I didn't even ask if I should be putting bows on my dog or not? I asked if I should do pink or purple. So you could have just said pink or purple, or you could have said nothing. But okay. And that's why y'all need to chill. I'm like, and that's why y'all literally need to chill on Reddit. So, yeah. Continuing on this, because I came on here to see if caffeine was making me fucking musty. Let's see. It says that sweating... It's mainly the sweating. Okay. I think caffeine elevating your heart rate. No, but the thing is, I'm actually going to do a secondary Google search really quickly. I think coffee, this is, and okay, wait, this is the same but different. Coffee makes you stinky. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Wait, guys. Okay. r/coffee. Here we are. On Reddit again, bro. I didn't even want it to be Reddit, but that was the first result that came up. I think coffee affects my body odor plus possible solution. I can never get my clothes smelling really fresh and clean anymore. And I've wondered if the coffee I'm drinking is delivering bitter odors to my sweat glands. Oh, diva. Oh, wait. Ooh. Tobacco, smoke, alcohol, and garlic also change your sweat. Would you say any of these has changed recently as well? Well, wait, because I did start drinking this year, so maybe... The thing is, I'm sweating right now. Let's start there. But I wasn't musty at the beginning of the day because what would I be musty from? I showered before I went to bed and I went to sleep. But if I'm still sweating out the toxins of alcohol, then maybe that. Coffee is not a big contributor to body odor, but sometimes the body gets taken over. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I did that, and you would do it too for a check. And gosh, that fucking video of Coco Jones is never not gonna be, first of all, living in my head rent free, but second of all, hilarious. Yes, I did that, and you would do it too for a check. Okay. And listen, because here's the thing. If you're... Wait. Reduce body odor. Coffee makes you stinky. Sometimes. Okay. Yes, caffeine can make you musty or contribute to body odor because it acts as a stimulant that activates the apocrine sweat glands, leading to increased sweating. When this perspiration mixes with skin bacteria, it can produce a stronger, unpleasant odor. And you know what? That on its own is kind of honestly making me want to take longer to drink my matchas. Because the thing is, I will down a matcha in 5 minutes. And that's the problematic part about it. I really think it's the speed with which I slam matcha that like maybe negatively impacts. Maybe I'm gonna try a few things out. Glad we came to this conclusion together. Glad we came to this conclusion together. And do you hear how it's not the end of the world? Like, look at that. Look at that. Because I went in and I was hot. Like, I was mad. But actually, hear how it's not the end of the world? Like, when you think about it, when you listen to it, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's all gonna be okay. Gosh, I sat down, by the way, and my original, what I actually originally even thought to record, what I was even gonna sit on here and say and go do was I was gonna go through the first block of questions on the 36 questions leading to true love. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna sit here and be like, hey guys, like I'm gonna go through this first block of questions for 36 questions leading to true love. And instead I talked about don't know. Don't know. Literally, like, actually don't know. Like, barely remember. On that note, let's get into recently viewed, because that's what I'm talking about when I say fucking nonsense. Like, what are we talking about? Recently viewed, gosh. Ugh. Caleb Heron's comedy special. Love him. Don't know what it's called. Something. Oh, I think it's called Model Comedian. Ooh, I think it's called Model Comedian. See how I pulled that out of my brain? Model Comedian by Caleb Heron. It's on HBO Max. I'm also watching for the first time ever Portlandia. It's on Netflix. I don't like sketch comedy. I literally don't like sketch comedy. Like, I literally don't. For some reason, though, like this show is hitting. Gosh. You guys. And I don't know what this did to me. I don't know what this did to me. Marcelo. Like, not too much. I don't want to act up too much on camera. Especially with all of this bonus energy I have coursing through my veins. Like, literally, when I get my hands on you, it's not a threat, I promise. It's not a threat, I promise. Watched his comedy special. I'm thinking of him. Since then, that was days ago. Since then, I've been thinking of him. I'm like, wow, yeah. I just feel feel a very deep, I feel a deep connection to all the random shit he was saying, because as raised by a Latino woman, literally in South Florida, bad as hell, just bad as hell. Actually, it felt like really like I was identifying with a lot of the things he was saying, because he was bad. He was bad, and you could tell I was also bad. And my cousins were bad, and it was on my grandma to get us all together. And it was never just one or two. Like, it was always like 3 or 4. So really felt what he was talking about. That being said, though, I'm like, love you. And also, that's my Man Crush Monday. And I'm feeling like that's going to be my Man Crush Monday for the next few weeks. Because the truth is, I'm just like Marcelo Hernandez, come here, let me talk to you. Just come here, come here real quick, let me talk to you. I just want to share secrets. I just want to share secrets. I don't want to do anything crazy, but just let me talk to you. And it's not a threat, I promise. It's literally not a threat, I promise. So yeah, Man Crush Monday, Marcelo Hernandez. Was listening a lot this week to 2010s, aspirational hip hop, good mood, good vibe hip hop that includes On Repeat Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj and Drake. If you haven't listened to it in a while, would go back and just give it a listen. I probably talk about it maybe once every couple months. Would recommend. Homecoming by Kanye West and Chris Martin. It's just like the storytelling of it, unfortunately, it's really good. And Just Fine by Mary J. Blige. Yeah, all songs to step your money up and your funny up, honestly, and all songs to really step into that energy, I'm doing great, I believe in myself, I'm here to win type energy. Yeah, get into that. Don't know how we transitioned from that in the 2010s to whatever we are doing now, like literally like 500 pounds by Lil Tecca, like, which love 500 pounds by Lil Tecca, but what are we talking about? You know what I mean? But okay, and me when I'm saying 500 pounds by Lil Tecca, that's not a sign of the times. Hey guys, like that's literally not the only sign that there is of the times. There's other stuff. There's aspirational hip hop, but I'm like in the 2010s, like the mainstream hip hop was like aspirational hip hop. I don't know. Like I feel like that was a common theme in the 2010s. So, yeah, that's what I've been listening to. And that being said, yeah, we're done. We're done. Cuz you know what? I wasn't kidding when I said I actually have shit to do. And now here we are with about 30 minutes to hit the grocery store cuz now I have to randomly hit the grocery store. Like what are we fucking literally what are we talking about? Yeah, thanks for hanging in. Thanks for being here. As per usual, you could probably say it to yourself at this point. Love you, miss you, really want to kiss you. And let's talk soon. Let's talk soon. Hey, let's talk soon. If I can get a handle on editing these, you guys, I'm like y'all are gonna be so proud. Like when that situation gets situated, I'm gonna be so proud. I'm gonna be so proud. But y'all are also gonna be proud. And that being said, we'll see you when we see you. Bye.